Out here tonight. We've got a lot of good family and friends here, so a lot of familiar faces. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm Ryan, this is my wife Maxine, and this is our place. And so before we started opening this whole deal, we knew we wanted to have music, and we do live music every Friday and Saturday night. Usually it's, kind of local people and everything else, and we've just been, trying to rack our brains about having to bring people in here that pretty much we wanted to see. So it's just like, okay, these are our shows, let's see who we want to bring in here. And January was coming up, and that's kind of like one of those slow months for restaurants. It's a slow month for musicians, and so we thought we could get people on off nights like a Thursday in January and just kind of like pack the month and give everybody a little bit of work. So these shows have just been getting better and better. We did Dale Watts in the first week. Hey,
Hey, I'm so
what's up, lady? Aaron York always comes in and plays. So you can find her here regularly. Stay tuned. Second week we did Kelly Willis, was great. Then we did Matt Hillier, which was awesome. And so Summer Dean has been kind of, this is going to be the piece de resistance, I believe they say, no pressure. But we're really stoked to have Summer here tonight. So this is kind of our love letter to East Texas. So all the food you see on the menu, some of it should be familiar, some of it might be a little different, but it should remind you of something, just like the pictures on the wall. And I kind of see it all as what we're doing here, it all paints the same picture. So it doesn't matter if it's the music or the food or what's on the wall or the way we say welcome in. This is just, kind of our love letter to what we call East Texas and the mashup of kind of Southern and Cajun and Texas culture that kind of collides out here in the edge of the Piney Woods. And so really glad to have you all out here tonight. Do I have anything else to say? Am I leaving anything else out? Kitchen closes at 9 o'clock, so last call for food will be before that. Make sure to get some of that warm banana pudding. Bar is going to be open as late as y'all are here, so please stay here and enjoy that. And Summer's got some merch over here, so after she's through playing, make sure y'all run over here and shake her hand and buy some merch from her, and she's got some pretty cool stuff. I'm eyeing this Iron Maiden shirt, and she's got some sick stickers too. So, anyways, all right. So, guys, thank you all so much for being here. We're really excited to have Summer here. So let's give a huge round of applause for her.
Well, now y'all are going to sit there while I awkwardly get everything plugged in. So don't just talk much to friends for a second.
Okay.
Was I saying something?
Talking about the music that are like huge in Texas right now. It'll come back.
I was cold upstairs and
When I'm up there in Chicago, the Southland's on my mind, and I'll be dreaming down in Texas with those northern lights. Well, I run this highway up and down to the tune of an old church hymn. Can you hear me knocking? Can you hear me knocking? Nashville, Tennessee. Can you hear me knocking? Grand Ole Opry. Well, just leave your front porch light on, 'cause I'll be there before too long. Can you hear me knocking? I'm letting myself in. Well, can you hear me knocking? Just show me to your stage. I know that I could quit this life and go and hyphenate my name. No, I might be blind with long white lines, but I still love it just the same. Can you hear me knocking? I'm letting myself in. Take it away, band. You're not here. I got it. Barely. I know you hear me knocking, so just show me to your stage. I know that I could quit this life and do those good girls do, and go back home and hyphenate my name. I might be blind with long white lines, but I still love it just the same. Can you hear me knocking? I'm letting myself in. I know you hear me knocking. I'm letting myself in. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, my little backup singers over here. That's awesome. Well, like Brian said, my name is Summer Dean, and I'm very, very, very cool and happy to be here. I haven't played an acoustic show in a long time, and I do get acrylic nails. I think my I think my E string's ringing out. My bottom end's ringing out. That's what she said, right? Just a little. I'll let it go for a second and find it. Whenever I sound check really quiet, and then I get up here and I get really loud, and the sound guy's like, "That's not at all what you sounded like." But whoa. Oh, it's the mic, maybe. It's perfect time to talk to your friends. At least somebody's calling, you know. But yeah, I haven't played this show in a while, and I do get acrylic nails, but the way I do that is I get 6 long ones and 4 short ones. And so I can still play Dolly style, I guess. Well, I've got a list of songs I'm going to do, but if you know something you want to hear, you can holler it out, and if I don't know it, I just won't play it. But sometimes I don't even know my own song. I'll start here. So I've put out 3 albums. They're for sale over here. I put out one in 2016. My first one was called Unladylike. And then in 2021, I put out Bad Romantic. And then in 2023, I put out The Biggest Lie. So Unladylike and Bad Romantic will give you a good clue to what I was talking to my therapist about during those years, you know. So when I had written the Bad Romantic record, and I didn't know where I was going to make it. It cost a lot of money to put out a record, and so I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. I got an email that every artist cannot wait to get. And it said, Summer, I know you're new to the scene, but we like your songs and we'd like to put out your record. I was like, I don't even need to read the contract, just let me sign it, you know. And they said, no, there's no contract, just a handshake. And I should have known at that time how this was going to turn out. But they said, we're going to be our new label under a subsidiary of Columbia Records. So we're going to take good care of you. Go into the studio and make an album that's on us. Heck yeah. So I go into the studio, and since I wasn't paying for it, I didn't keep tab of the money at all. And just to give you a perspective, I paid somebody to play a pencil against a tequila bottle. And I paid somebody to get on his beard to play his hands like this. It's crazy. We spent over $2,300 on the album just on Whataburger. It wasn't my money, you know. So we finished the record, and then I got an email that every artist dreads to get, and it said, "Summer, good news, bad news. Good news is we're finished with your record. I think you're really gonna like it. Bad news is we are no longer gonna be a label. So if you want to put out your record, you're gonna have to buy it from us. Here's the bill." I said a lot of words that the Lord didn't favor, and I called my mama. I told her the story, and she said, calm down, I have an idea. She said, "Summer, you remember when you were dating that rich oil man in Midland? I just knew you were gonna marry him. So I started putting this money aside, you know. We sold some of your dry cows and sold some of your calves, and we were putting in that billboard up by the highway. I was putting that money in your account, and I called it Summer's wedding money." And you said, "Summer, you're 40 years old. Don't you think we ought to just spend your wedding money by now?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, absolutely yes." So we cashed in that wedding account, and I took it straight in cash to that label management. And I said, "Here's cash, give me my songs." And I put it out myself, and it's done perfectly fine. I didn't even need them, you know. You would say that's my wedding album, right? Yeah. This is the title track of the wedding album, and I think it's a perfect fit how the Lord just made it work this way. The song right here is about choosing this life instead of the other one, and it wasn't a fairy tale, but it's what it's meant to be. Here's Bad Romance. If you're looking for love, find a new left hand. I'll be leaving with the boys in my band to another town. Another show, and there'll be another like you in your 1995 o'clock show. I want something new, but I'm a bad romance at a quarter after 2. Well, if you're looking for heartache, well, I'll bring you pain. Love it or leave it, I'm not to blame. See, the devil's got my tongue, and the road fits my feet, and it's the only hand I can play and not cheat myself. It's true, I ain't anything new, but a bad romance at a quarter after 2. Well, if it's time you're looking for, I'll have plenty tomorrow when my boots hit the boards, 'cause I'll drive all day. I'm trying to make Reno, trying to hold on to what we know. It's just a simple truth. I want a different view, 'cause I'm a bad romance at a quarter after 2. Well, if you're looking for love, go out and see the world. If you're from Los Angeles or Maypearl, just drive all day. Don't get where you're going. Are you on the road you should be on? Come along with me and try something new. Become a bad romance at a quarter after 2. We're all bad romantics at quarter after 2. Maybe, I don't know. But, so here's the continuation of what happened. So, put out Bad Romantic, and things went really, really well, thanks to Coulter. Things were really well, and I'll tell the Coulter story in a minute. Maybe when the camera's off. So then I'll really tell it, you know. I will. I'll tell you more if you promise no cameras later.
Okay.
So those of you that are watching on the cameras, sorry you won't hear to get the real story. But anyway, it came time to make the third record. And again, I get an email that every artist, or actually rephrase, and every Texas songwriter can't wait to get. And I get an email from Mr. Bruce Robinson. And I had to like cartoon rub my eyes and make sure it said Bruce Robinson. I was like, what? And so he's like, hey, I've got this bunker studio down here, all analog, you know, no computers, and I'd like for you to come down and sing a couple of songs and check it out. I was like, whatever you want, whatever you want, dude. So it's in Lockhart. So I drove down to Lockhart and went to his studio. And we sang some songs, we checked it out. And his studio is this old farmhouse outside Lockhart, and it's everything you want a studio to be, which is in nothingness, you know. It's just drywall. Like, I think the couch in the control room, and he said it was his dad's couch from his dad's RV in the 80s, you know. And there's not a computer in the room. It's all analog, completely to tape. So everything you hear on a Bruce Robinson record from the last waltz is completely the way you play it, and that's it. You know, it's pretty cool. The problem with that, though, is when you're recording a tape, there's no stopping and fixing it or anything like that. So you gotta get everything all the way through. You gotta play it right, you gotta sing the right words, you gotta be on key, you gotta do everything perfectly right. But I think recording analog like that, you get the best from an artist, because we're trying our very best not to mess up, but we have to let go of perfection. I think that's where you get absolute what the artist does, you know. So we went down there and checked out the studio, and then Bruce walked me to my van in a very, it's 2026, he had consent to walk me to my van. It was perfectly fine. And I don't want him to sound creepy. He's not, he's wonderful. And he walked me to the van, he said, all right, Summer, you know, I've been checking out your songs, and I like them, and I'd like to make your record here. And I said, well, I already spent my wedding money, and I don't have any honeymoon money, so we got to talk about how we're getting this done. And he said, Summer, you will never owe me $1, all right? I want to make your record. So we did. And so this is the title track to that record. And I wrote this one, so I'm a big fan of Larry McMurtry. And Cormac McCarthy too, but Larry McMurtry's, I think it's the best book and the best movie in the whole wide world, and that's Lonesome Dove. Yeah. And I live my life on quotes from Lonesome Dove, you know. And one of my favorite scenes in Lonesome Dove is that scene where they've taken off on the trail to Montana, you know, and there's Lori there. And sweet Lori, she did the only job that a girl had to do back then in Lonesome Dove, and she's following Jake Spoon, and she thought, man, my world could get so much better if I could just get to San Francisco. And her and Gus are down by the tank, and we're down by the river, and she's like, I just want to get to San Francisco, that's all I want to do. And Gus says, you know, Lori, darling, if you want one thing too bad in life, you're bound to be disappointed. You got to learn to love the every little day things. And Lori says, yeah, like what? And Gus says, oh, like a warm cup of milk, or a tall glass of whiskey, or a feisty gentleman like myself. And I think Gus is right. So this song right here was written from that scene. It seems today your biggest pay gets in a hurry, always pressing on life when big times come to call. But what's the rush to get to San Francisco when your biggest life worth living is small? It's all those little things in your everyday, like a cup of coffee or a friendly face of the sunshine. It's in a biscuit with the perfect rise of the evening sun, or a morning light, or a good a good wine. So don't be fooled. There ain't a rule to how you're living. I know that one girl's glitter it won't be gold for all. So remember when you get to San Francisco, that your biggest life worth living's in the small. Sitting on those little things in your everyday, like a cup of coffee with honey face and sunshine. It's in the biscuit with the perfect rise of the evening sun or morning light, or a good wine. So don't be fooled. There ain't a rule to how you're living. Well, one girl's glitter it won't be gold for all. So remember when you get to San Francisco, that your biggest life worth living's in the small. Yeah, your biggest life worth living's in the small. Thank you, I made that up. Appreciate it, made that up. This next song's in the key of F. If you're keeping up with your scorecards and bulletins, you can bubble in the key of F. Man, playing at a restaurant when there's like waitresses and things going on reminds me. I went to high school at went to college at Texas Tech, and I played every Tuesday night at Joe's Crab Shack. And I was learning how to do this job, and I remember having to take a break and tell people their table are ready and stuff. I'm not going to do that now, but that's what it reminds me of. So I've come a long way from Joe's Crab Shack, I hope. But back in December, one of my longtime dreams came true, and I got to make my debut on the Grand Ole Opry. Yeah. I mean, it's been over a year, and I still get butterflies just saying it, you know. And I had two dreams as a little girl, and it was either become Miss Texas or sing on the Grand Ole Opry, and I guess one out of two ain't bad. You know? So I dreamt of it for so long, and my agent would call me and often be, hey, you want some good news? And I'd say, is it the Opry? And he'd be like, no, but I got you a big old check in Kansas. You go get it, you know. Or, hey, you want some good news? Is it the Opry? No, but you're opening for somebody. I got all excited. It never was the Opry. Finally, one morning, pretty earlier than he usually calls, he called me and he said, you want some good news? And I said, yeah, it's at the Opry. And he said, yep, you're going. I just fell to the floor, you know, I was so excited. And thanks, y'all. I was so excited. I called my dad, and he didn't answer. I called my mama, and she didn't answer. Finally I called my brother out in South Texas, and he answered. I said, I couldn't talk. I was crying so hard. I said, I'm going to play on the Grand Ole Opry. And he started crying. He said, my sister's going to be on the Opry. I said, well, I need to tell you that I'm not supposed to announce it yet. So you just screamed it, you know. It was amazing. And about 150 Texans flew into Nashville. And we went, and it was just crazy. I told everybody to wear red, and I got my big old red hat, you know. We had a big party after, and it got crazy. There was even a fight. Like, we did it right, you know. Texas showed up, and it was real fun. So when you debut on the Opry, you get to do 2 songs, and they say maybe 3, but probably 2, you know. And you only get to bring 2 players. And the rest you use the Opry band, which is great, they're classy, but my band at the time was just 3 players. And what am I gonna do, leave 1 at home, you know? So I emailed her and I said, hey, I'd really like to bring all 3 of my players so I can have my whole band. They're the reason I sound the way I sound. And she said, well, here at the Opry, at your debut, it's just 2. So I didn't tell the guys yet. Finally, I conjured up all my Texasness, you know, and I emailed her again. I said, I just have to ask you one more time. I owe it to these guys to ask you one more time if I could bring 3 players instead of 2. These guys have been my band for 7 years, you know. She said, oh, okay. So I got to bring all my band. So I couldn't decide forever what 2 songs to do. I was like, do I get up there and just honky-tonk it to death and show them what I'm about? No. Do I get up there and just play Texas in their face? You know, what do I do? And finally I called some friends and they said, don't you worry about anything else. Just get up there and sing 2 songs that you wrote that you love, and that's it. So this is the first one we did on the Opry, and I wrote this one because in my experience, he always had somebody else. And every time she was a skinny blonde. So here's my song called She Ain't Me. Straight from now. I hear your baritone voice, order a whiskey and a wine. From the stage I see her hanging off your arm, so I told the steel to make her cry this time. And I look at you and you looked at me, forbidden words we won't ever speak. It's a sad song to sing, how it's killing me. She ain't me. That time in Tennessee, you let me know it wasn't only in my mind. When we finally got alone that night in Denver, I remember our long goodbye. We pretend I'm just your friend and there's nothing more that we're riding for in a hackamore, holding back what we ought to be. She ain't me. No, she's not the one who's losing her mind, and she's not the one with a reason to hide. She's who you're not leaving when you're leaving here tonight, and it's killing me that she ain't me. She's not the one who's losing her mind, and she's not the one with a reason to hide. She's the one next to you, but I'm just next in line. It's killing me that she ain't me. You know, she's the one who's wrong for you, but she's got the right to call you mine. But I won't say anything. Instead, I just stood at the Grand Ole Opry and sang that she could never be me. Got him, you know, got him. I'd rather be at the Opry than on his arm anyway, you know.
There's a song in that.
There is, I'll remember it,
Is Queen of the Clowns on the set list tonight?
Sure.
Awesome.
So after we did that song at the Opry, I thought, okay, one down. And so this is the next one that we did. So I was like, I gotta relax a little bit, not be so serious. I got a thing for, I wrote this one because I got a thing for, I want to say guys that drive punchy trucks, but really it's just the truck they drive, you know? I love a punchy ranch rig, like specifically like a flatbed dually with a big feeder on the back, you know, and like the name of the ranch on the side and like tie strings on the back, you know, just like, I mean, really done right, you know, and like especially like if I see one of those rigs like pulling a half-top trailer, you know, and just a half-top gooseneck trailer going down the road. My van right here, her name's Vanya Tucker. If she sees one, she's going to turn around, you know. But I specifically look for on the road that flatbed pulling the gooseneck. I specifically look for that trailer to be dirty and empty. Now here's why. If that trailer's dirty, that means that cowboy's a hand. He's been hauling things, you know, he's good. He's not just hauling it around to get attention, you know. But if it's empty, then there's a really good chance that that guy has just left the sale barn and he's got a check in his pocket. You know, if that trailer's dirty and empty, he just sold something, you know. So I'm gonna turn Vanya around. I'm gonna follow that punchy cowboy to the coffee shop. I'm gonna follow him and sit down and order a cup of coffee, and I'll go to his table and say something, I don't know, like borrow some sugar or something. You know, I know what I'm doing. And so I wrote this about possibly meeting one of those punchy guys at a rodeo dance while I was trying to get over another, and I will just sing it. Called Might Be Getting Over You. Well, he pulled up in a flatbed truck, cattle brand painted on the side. He's got his tucked in jeans and a cowboy crease. Hey, that's the kind of man I like. I walked in the dance and I heard the band play someone to give my love to. Hey, it ain't a lie to tell you that I might be getting over you. I caught his eye and I knew that I would have to swallow down a few before I got the nerve to take my turn to walk up to him and make my move. So I took a swig and I gave him a grin like a Texas girl knows to. It's a lesson I learned and I know that it works. It's the same grin I gave to you. There ain't a lot of cowboys can turn this woman on. He might be the one boy that'll right what you did wrong. So he took my hand when he heard the band play someone to give my love to. Hey, it ain't a lie to tell you that I might be getting over you. There ain't a lot of cowboys can turn this woman on. But he might be the one boy that'll right what you did wrong. So we loaded up in his flatbed truck after staying out all night long. And he held me tight till the morning light, 'cause we danced all the way to dawn. One little kiss and it started to lift this rope it got me tied down to. Hell, it ain't a lie to tell you that I might be getting over you. Well, it ain't a lie to tell you that no, it ain't a lie to tell you that it ain't a lie to tell you that I might be getting over you. I might be getting over you. Thanks, I made that up too. It's fun to play the songs like this because this is how they were written. You know, I like to sit on the end of my bed and write songs, and so it's fun to play them like this. Once they get in the studio with the band, they become something totally else. I have started the 4th album just a few weeks ago. Yeah, I'm going to record it in Fort Worth, and Robert Ellis is going to produce it. And
All
it's
right.
gonna be a really fun record. Yeah, it's called Dirty Looks. And a little continuation from record to record. You know, the girl and She Ain't Me and all that is also the one that was giving me the dirty looks, y'all. It just, you know, I don't know, inspiration comes from everywhere.
Thank
Stories about a magic night in San Antonio. It's partly a true story. I'll let you guess which true and which not. Behind a bodega on St. Mary's in Old San Antonio, I went looking for answers from a woman which whom I was told, with all her beautiful colors that shone like a halo above. I heard she could search for my name in the heart of a cowboy that I loved. Her name was Jimena, her hair there was a pin made of gold. And I told her I'd come with a heart empty and broke. I said, Miss Jimena, I've foolishly fallen for one with a gold wedding ring, and she's in his arms while I'm in the palm of his hand. While she's in his arms, I'm in the palm of his hand. I live in a darkened room, but I love him like a lamb. It's a forbidden love, and she told me how we will end. For she's in his arms while I'm in the palm of his hand. For she talked of my cowboy and his love with a golden-haired girl, and she read through my lines while all the smoke of the candles were burning. She said, Summer, demons inside that girl make a damsel, so he's destined to tame. And loving your cowboy is barren and only gain. So as I wiped a tear from my eye, I knew I was damned. That she's in his arms while I'm in the palm of his hand. While she's in his arms, I'm in the palm of his hand. I live in a darkened room, I love him like a lamb. It's a forbidden love. She told me how we will end. For she's in his arms while I'm in the palm of his hand. It's just too sad. While she's in his arms, I'm in the palm of his hand. I live in a darkened room, still I love him like a lamb. It's a forbidden love. She told me how we will end. For she's in his arms while